Top of the morning to you. We are on the last step number 7, or habit number 7 of the 7 habits of highly effective people. And as a Kingdom family leader, this is one of my favorites because our first pillar is bless yourself. The 7th habit of the 7 habits is sharpen your saw, or sharpen the saw. I was meeting with a client earlier this week, no, actually it was last week, and just talking about a season of their life years ago where everything was working, everything was on fire. She was helping in the community, she was serving her clients, she was growing her work, everything was awesome and powerful and never ending. And I think there was a little bit of sharpening saw missing, but it didn't show up until she got married and had kids. And then she realized, oh, the last few years haven't been so great. And the sharpening the saw is the piece that was missing. We need to bless ourselves. If we bless ourselves to this level, we can bless others to this level. So we need to bless ourselves. We need to sharpen our saw up to this level so that we can bless others to that high level of blessing. So sharpen the saw is just crucial. I use the Morning Savers from the Miracle Morning by Hal, I forget his name, Hal. But grab that book, read that, and decide whether that fits into your scheme. Hopefully you're here because you read your scriptures every day. But for the Morning Savers, let me review those quick. S is silence. So I do a silent meditation and prayer. A is affirmations. I recite my affirmations each day, part of my visualization that I want to be. Third is V, visualization, visualizing the day, the month, and the future, kind of reviewing the life planning that I've done. E is exercise. So I do some sort of exercise or energy use every day. Sometimes it's standard going to the gym, sometimes it's going out sailing, sometimes it's cleaning and moving out book boxes in the house, sometimes it's yard work, but that daily exercise, SAVER, is reading my scriptures. I read scriptures on a daily basis, and you should too. The first scripture I remember memorizing as an adult when I came back to it is Psalm 119:11. Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. And then finally, scribing. I write in the journal, and we talked about that a few episodes back, about kind of the rest steps in my journal, the thankfulness, and all those parts and pieces. And that's an important part of sharpening the saw. Part of it's taking time for recreation, taking time for play. The story in the book talks about the saw cutter, the wood cutter, out in the woods, sawing his wood and cutting it, and he's got so much wood to do, and the bystander or passerby says, well, how come you're not cutting so much anymore? You're cutting less and less all the time. And he doesn't know, and he doesn't give an answer, but turns out he has been cutting and not sharpening. So his saw is getting duller and duller and duller, and he's getting less and less productivity. So that's our final one. And it's kind of the first one. You know, if you turn it all on its head, we need to sharpen our saw first. Remember, the first 3 habits dealt with our internal selves, taking care of ourselves, doing the right mindset things, the right thinking patterns in the internal scope, in the internal world, the self growth, the self-development world. The next 3 are that external world, thinking win-win and getting outside of ourselves and getting into relationships and business, relationships with people, and growing there. And sharpen the saw is the 7th one. We are the saw. The scripture that comes to mind repeatedly, because it points to our mastermind, it points to godly living, is iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. And we are the iron. We are the man that needs sharpening. And we need to grab this scripture and figure out where where am I working with dull tools? Where in my life am I working with dull tools? Put that down in the doobly-doo below this today. What's your dull tool? Is it your fitness? Is it your diet? Is it your kid time? Is it your spouse time? Is it your business? What part of your business? What area of your business? Is it a skill set that you're lacking in that you need to be highly productive and serve others? So write down in the doobly-doo which saw is dull and needs some adjustment. And we're starting another mastermind soon. So hit me up at brian.chat, and I'd love to chat with you about mastermind and or one-on-one coaching as a kingdom family leader, as a Christian man leading and building God's kingdom by our actions, by our obedience. You be blessed.